Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to an episode of Pattay's Performance. Today in the driveway is this beautiful, iconic, up-to-date Ariens Path Pro. Should be 21-inch clearing path. This is the Path Pro. This is one of the newer models out there. This is the reason why we're not keeping it. Compared to our Toro, I like to have the chute control up here. It's down here. I don't want to reach. This is pretty standard and normal. We're gonna let it go. What is beautiful about this machine, this is 4-cycle, that's how you know it's modern. Even has this bar here. You wanna know what this bar is for? So if you're a solo operator, what you wanna do is when you get your snowblower to the hitch of your pickup truck, you lean your handles up against the bed, you pick it up and slide it over, and it also protects the motor when doing so. Now, I bought this lawnmower, this snowblower, in running condition for $125. The gearhead in me can't sell it as is. He says the surging goes away when you hit snow, when you put a load on it, and I get it, but for me, it just doesn't sound right. Let's see if this thing still even runs. Oh, look at that first pull, baby. It works. Look at that. So we're going to fix that surging issue. It is not the end of the world if it surges. It just drives me nuts. And I know that that is not correct. I ended up, he wanted 150. I was first to flight, got him down to 125. Still plenty of wiggle room. This does not have electric start because this is the Path Pro, the commercial grade model, where you're gonna plug in your snowblower to start it with key start. So it doesn't matter if you have the key start version or not. Even the SnowTech version, this video will apply to that because the motor is still the same. So the fun part is accessing the carburetor, and it seems like we're gonna have to take off 1, 2, oh man, this ain't gonna be easy. 3 bolts here, 4. You might have to drop this cover here. God, we're just gonna start taking stuff apart. And look at this, look at this, it's cracking already. You think someone was in here? That's from the factory some sort of way. All right, so we're gonna start off with some 8 and 10 millimeter screws. That's what I'm thinking all of this is. Let's start with removing those 2 right there. Golly. A little complicated, don't you think? A little pain in the you-know-what to get to. I guarantee you, a carb clean is not going to fix it. And when I'm going to show you what the issue is, will. Come on. If I could find a way, that just pulls right out. I set that aside. Okay, let's swing over to here. We have to remove this excess panel, this engine panel. We're going to take off this bolt right there. It's hiding underneath the muffler shroud. But I see you. You know this, I'm going to try and sneak everything out of here because this is crazy. All right, so we got this here. Let's do this other bolt, this shiny silver one, right there. Why is that silver and the rest are not? That is beyond me. Okay, we're going to leave that in there. It seems that we also need to, whoops, maybe loosen up this engine cover, because you see how it's sliding? Maybe not. If we remove this key, you got these two bolts right here. You got these two bolts right here. You could see, focus. You could see that one on the bottom and the rusty one up top. If we push this forward, if we push that forward, we gain access to that. So let's do that. Or should we just remove this access panel? Let's do that. Is this 10 millimeter? No, it's 10 millimeter. Nice long screws. All right, then let's do this one on the bottom, which is right here. And see, are these all the same? Yes, these are all the same length, which is good to observe. Okay. What's this? Yes, this comes out. Oh, look at that. Now we have access to the engine.
It'll give us so much extra space in our room to do activities.
This here. And then popped out. 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. Observe. These are all short. Okay, can we? Here we go. Come on, baby. Come out. Let's expose the carburetor. And we're almost there. Son of a bitch. It has this protective cover. All right, let's free up some space. Right here is our primer line. So let's get rid of that. Let's get that out of the way. And now, let's slide this recoil out. Remember, the more we take, the more we have to remove. Now we're gonna have this carburetor. 10 millimeter, one. Oh, look at that. 2. Now observe, these are equal length, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. These are carb spacers. Observe that this comes out facing towards you, these bent sheet metal parts. Lay that to the side. And this should come out. Can we just slide this out? Yes, yes, up and over. Voila, we got what we need to get to. This right here is what we need to get to. All right, so this is a Phillips number 2 screwdriver. Oh, of course, the microphone. Let me move this up a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, Phillips number 2. Note that it's about halfway past the opening on the carburetor. This basically sets your idle, your low idle. So we're going to unscrew that. It's plastic, so be careful. Take your flat tip screwdriver, pop this up. And this is the problem right here. Right here, this is your problem. This is your idle circuit jet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a micro drill bit. I'm going to zoom you out. Okay, if you don't have one of these, an affiliate link in my description, an eBay link in my description, will get you exactly what we need. We are just opening this up to the next size. If you want to go bigger, that's entirely up to you. But that's all we're doing, is we're going up the next size. Just want to get it started really, really good. I'm just going to drill this out. Come on. You know, it's funny, this snowblower engine is on 2-stage snowblowers, the bigger ones. So that's why these Path Pros are really, really cool. So off camera, we're just going to twist it. Instead of me twisting the drill bit, I'm just twisting this. And then you can see in this hole, focus, that we have gone through. You're going to see it visually right through here. You can just blow it out by hand. If you want to use compressed air or brake clean, do it. But no, we're good. We're just going to double check for clear passage. We're going to stick this back in the hole like so. We're going to take our Phillips number 2 like so. We're going to make sure, oops, now this shroud is a little bit in the way. So I'm going to start this by hand. This is plastic. This is going to strip out very, very easily. I might get frustrated. I'm just going to stick it in anyway with the drill, with the screw. Nice and easy. Okay, start screwing. Remember, we were about a little bit past halfway. All right, and then we're good to go. Now we're going to start the reassembly process. I'm going to slam this together. As you guys notice, I did not clean the carburetor. I know for a fact that this is most likely the issue. If not, well then it's just going to make for a little bit better video. Let's get our shield in there. Come on, boys. Remember, like so. And then remember, this tip went here. Now what I like to do, extra step. I'm going to get some anti-seize and just dash it along the threads. I know you guys are seeing this off camera, but I just put a dab along the threads. We're going to put back our carb spacers. Now technically, after we hook up our carb spacers, remember, just make them snug and tight. I want to do both at the same time. This thing should be running. So let's see if we could test that theory. There's no prime wire. Let's see if this thing will start, because we had this running for a little bit with the prime. All right, let's stick this in here. Put it to the run position. And let's just see if this thing is going to fire up with no primer. See if we got lucky. There we go. And look at that, boys, the surging has went away. So what we did is open up the idle circuit jet, viable repair. So now let's put this back together. You think, how does get through here? Because we know this was on the exterior. Oh, this is what we did. All right, so that snakes around there through the recoil. Let's hook up our primer line to that nipple fitting on the carb. And then now we could put this back into position like a woman. We need to be soft but aggressive. Like so. Now the reconstruction part begins. Okay, remember, this is just a little tip. We're going to do the choke lever last in case we need to manipulate the cover up and down. These are our bolts. Remember, we had one rusty one up here and one shiny black one down there. These all look the same length. So now it just comes down to preference and where you took it off. Okay, this is some anti-seize. Just gonna take some of that and dab it. Because remember, these are in the worst places ever. See that? Just on the threads. Because as you thread it in, it's gonna work its way in. And as you guys see, I'm doing this by hand. Let's line this up with the muffler. Come on. It's not gonna be easy. There we go. One. And just running it around the rim. Two. Now when you're putting something together, in general, never tighten the bolts all the way down. You tighten that at the very end. Remember we had a little silver bolt that's shiny? Okay, this cover goes behind this muffler screen and the other one after that. Again, start this by hand. All right, now you see we're having trouble going in. I'm not using my ratchet, took the extension off the ratchet. And you see how I started it that way. Once I know it grabbed, which I should be spinning it by now. Let's try a different one. Once we confirm that it grabbed, then we could tighten down. So we're just gonna jump to the carb screws because we're right here. See if this will help with aligning the exhaust. Again, see how I'm doing it, starting this by hand. You could feel it by hand, you know it catches, and you reduce the risk of stripping something, and you turn an easy job into a complicated job. Because you just didn't want to wait 0.2 seconds. Here we go, again started by hand. And then we have an extra bolt. We like extra bolts. And that went right over here. Same thing, anti-seize. Uh-oh, and that's why I won't. This bolt is in the way, it's blocking it from traveling, so let's get this out. My fat fingers. Did we get this to grab? Yes, we got it to grab. So now, aligning this one, oops, excuse me. Excuse me. That'd be great. And now we know we're in there. And then we're just going to go around the world, around the cover. Tighten it, just snug. Quarter turn. Snug, quarter turn. Quarter turn. Quarter turn. Quarter turn. Now we can put the choke lever on there. And the beauty cover goes on. Choke. No, choke is supposed to go the other way. I feel like this ain't right. Okay. And we are good to go. Now the beauty cover goes back on. Let's be careful with this. This seems like it clips onto the bottom. You see that hole in the bottom? Get this in there. to be a little bit of a challenge. Let's get it inside the cover. Don't break on me. Don't break on me. Please don't break on me. Because you're made of plastic. Bent this little tab in a little bit. And now we could align these. Now these are clips, same process as well. A little bit of anti-seize, anti-seize. We're going to align the third one on the bottom. More anti-seize. Remember, we didn't make anything snug. We just started the threads. And since this is the last one, we could actually tighten this. And now, let's reconfirm that we've made the correct repair. Well, there's our key. Because this won't start without the key. It's in my pocket. Yeah, for this one, see it has a little hole. We're going to zip tie this someplace. All right, I told you I was going to zip tie the key somewhere. So let's do that. I've never had a key fall out, but do you really want one? Now that's a short zip tie, which is fine. So just get another one, stick it through, and then here we are with our longer one on the side. That key ain't going nowhere. All right, let's fire it up. Key in the on position, which is towards the street. Prime for a good time. Fire away. Alright guys, I'm going to get this thing warmed up. I'm going to change the oil. That'll be another video for another day. But in a simple machine like this, maintenance is very straightforward, very easy. Spark plug is right here, but this thing runs great. I'm not even going to change it. This has low hours. The oil, I will not cheap out on. Okay? Oil over time breaks down, so you don't know, even though it's clean, is it really still good or not? Alright guys, if you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, good, bad, ugly, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and guess what? I'll see you guys on the next episode of Pattay's Performance. Later.